Okay, here at buildthegeek.com/members, our last video in this series was getting the hover effect in a horizontal fashion. We have our vertical horizontal sliders, our horizontal sliders, but now we want to make it so that when we click, the thing happens. And I'm really interested in click because I'm cool with the hover thing on laptops and desktops, but on the iPad, on the iPhone, and on my Samsung Galaxy 895, that hover thing ain't going to work so good. So I got to have some click happening. Hear what I'm saying? So here we go. There's a piece of code that it's going to make this whole thing happen. It's not complex, but it is kind of weird. So let's get right on down into it and get with the groove of things here. So here it is. Now the thing is, like I'm up here and I'm in the newest version of Dreamweaver. The live button, they put the design mode down here in the new version. But anyway, so I have 4 links, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to click one in live mode. I click it, nothing happens. And this is a little iffy in the new Dreamweaver 14.1. It's like, so what I had to do is I had to preview it in the browser. But if I preview in the browser, if I click 2, there's my yellow dude thing, click 1, my purple thing does it, my 4, my red thing does it. It's kind of annoying. It actually goes down into the page. That's not a concern because this is just a demo on how to click and make the animation happen. But when you get to these clickable things, but just beware that live mode's not going to work real hot for you in Dreamweaver. But let's take a peek at our code and see what be going on down in here. I'm going to click my code button. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to say some big changes happened here. And notice here are my links up here. And when you want to target an item, and targeting something in the land of HTML is many times done or has been traditionally done when you want to click something and go to a different part of the page. Like you've got 50 titles up here and you click one, you go way down in the page to some word somewhere, or you can even do it to go to another page. But notice my my divs down here. To you rocket scientist HTML people, you'll immediately notice that these are no longer classes, but they're IDs. And if I go back into our horizontal slider and look at the code, sure enough, div class, menu 1, blah, blah, blah. So to make this happen, we have to actually target IDs, and you cannot target classes. And that's why you can have as many classes in a page that you want, but IDs are specific and they are created to target actually one item. So what you do here, here's my actual verbal link, but here I say aref equals # of extreme importance, #, and then the ID name. And here I change all of my div items to IDs, individual IDs. Of course, that will affect my CSS because if I go into the CSS land, all of my CSS selectors used to be classes. Now they are all IDs because we are targeting IDs. And the wild thing, it's not really wild, but well, yeah, it's wild. Looky here. All of the hovers have changed to target, like target. a great place to shop. But here, target is an HTML pseudo class like hover, and it's kind of like meaning on click. On click, do this. So we have our ID called menu, and on click, we want this target to do something. And notice, just like hover, target doesn't change. It's a pseudo selector item. And so when we target this item, we want these transitions to take effect. And again, you want to go back to our original opacity video where we talk about WebKit, and keyframes. And yes, you do want to add in all of those WebKit and web prefixes that will work in all browsers for all of this 5 seconds, ease in and out, 0-second delay. But that's it. In a nutshell, and of course, you can download this file. It's right under the video called Basic Vertical Slider, Basic 101 on click.html. It will have the CSS file with it. So there you go. Some pretty dramatic changes as far as the code goes. We went from all classes to IDs. We changed hover to target. And then in the HTML, we used our IDs that we created in CSS, and our links all have the pound sign for the ID, indicated an ID, and the ID name. And by doing all of these super fantabulous, wonderful things, we can open this up in a browser, because Dreamweaver 2014.1 is real shaky in here and doing this click stuff, so I can click this and watch the show.